There we go.
There you go.
That'll be good enough. I don't think it's too far up. Too far away. Oh, close. I think it is. We just all look in my hand.
Look at my babies. I love you too.
Let's go.
Oh, you're not even there.
Can't work.
Rocket Man. You see the trailer? They're making that Elton John song.
I did see that. I haven't seen the trailer. I saw the thing. Thank you one though.
Yeah, they got the kid from the Keys in there.
Yep, I saw that. Taryn Edgerton. Okay.
Robin Hood?
Robin Hood. I do want to see that Robin Hood movie with Jamie Foxx and Kevin Conroy.
Those are pretty good.
All right.
But
But
we're recording.
yeah, very much. Well, it was the only way I could see the preview, so I could go back and edit the description that says fast forward to this time. Might actually even be able to edit turn it down, but nobody's watching right now.
Oh, you went back a lot.
Yeah,
You can't get anybody.
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Huh. Yeah, we should. Okay, we'll do the down.
Peanuts.
Peanuts. Peanuts.
So she said. Episode 40.
Yeah, big 4-0, big 4-0, big 4-0. Is that a milestone? I don't know.
Remember Mike Tyson's episode?
I don't know.
I don't know. 8:04. All right, let's what do you guys think? About an hour? Maybe a little more?
Yeah, that's what I'm shooting for on this one.
Cool. 4-3. Might need more beer.
Yeah.
Oh, we got it. All right, boys, we're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, everybody out there in podcast land. Thanks for tuning in to Brewnomics, making us a part of your week. I'm Jerry.
I'm Paula. And I'm Vic.
Hopefully a fun one. On this one, we're going to drink some beer and talk about some stuff. The stuff we're going to talk about is news. Some pretty, I don't know, news. Some pretty interesting news. Maybe not that interesting. We're going to give you some theories on some things. And then we're going to talk about some of our favorite horror, supernatural, paranormal, just Halloween feely type movies and real. Guess that's pretty much it. So we can start it.
Let's drink.
Yeah.
Let's drink.
Let's drink. So we're gonna get our Oktoberfest out of the way. Want to do at least in Oktoberfest each week of October. This one is from a brewery we seem to be having more and more of on the cast here at Brewnomics Lake. Mazama Brewery out of Corvallis, Oregon. I don't even have to look that up anymore. These guys are pretty good. That's why we keep grabbing beers of their types, but I have not had this Oktoberfest. I assume you guys have not had this Oktoberfest. Is that a fair assumption?
That is fair.
Yes. Cool. Cool. But, you know, Oktoberfest. I don't know what we have deets wise. I think it's a 6%er. Yeah, 6%. Mazama, they've got that independent label on their cans in this case.
It's a good pour. It's a good pour.
He's done this before.
Ooh, what's the sound on tap?
Untapped has this at a 3.66 average. It's got 392 total check-ins and 372 unique check-ins with 34 check-ins this month.
3.66 rating, huh? One of you guys want to read us that description, that paragraph?
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead. It says it's a Vienna and German Munich malts provide a rich malt aroma, light toasted flavor, and a nice copper color. I would say that's true. It's mild, slightly spicy. Hops balance the maltiness to create a medium-bodied, smooth drinking and clean beer. It is a 2017 silver medal winner in Oktoberfest Marzen category as Best of Crafted Beer Awards.
All right. Well, let's drink this. It smells really good. I can definitely smell those spice and sweet malts in it.
It is, yeah. Tickles the taste buds. Definitely classic Oktoberfest.
It tastes
style.
like an Oktoberfest,
Mhm.
which is what I like. It actually almost seems a little bit lighter than your average Oktoberfest hue-wise. It's definitely kind of got a copper color, but I think maybe it's the lighting.
Mhm.
It seems a little bit lighter. Good bubbles, good effervescence on it. The head dies down pretty quickly, and it's tasty AF.
8F. Yeah.
6% right where I kind of like him to be on this one.
Yeah, you can't really taste the alcohol in it though.
Not at all. No. It got some weird little back end thing. You guys getting that right on the top of the back of your throat there?
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to describe.
Peppery.
Pepper. A light pepper. I like it though. You guys want to rate it?
I drink it again. It wasn't much at all. I give it a. Oh man, I give it
Yeah, I'll go 3.25 on it.
5 on it.
I'll do a 3.
A 3.
Yeah. It smells of Oktoberfest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that back lingering thing, I can't.
That's kind of weird. Huh?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird the way it lingered. That was exactly why I put it in. Like it's not going to stop me from drinking it.
I mean, I don't hate it. It's not gonna. Yeah, it doesn't bother me as much.
Maybe not my favorite Oktoberfest though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm still not sure.
Almost like a metallic situation.
Yeah. A little pepper on some flavor, just like it.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe some copper, some level.
Gross.
Yeah.
Real gross.
Third world snack.
Oh God, maybe. they call that a Cambodian crack.
Oh, I was
Oh,
waiting for that. I was going to say it.
God damn, open it up. Yeah.
Oh Lord. Okay. Well, since there's just 3 of us, we got a little bit more beer tonight, so let's sip on this and get into our news here.
Cool.
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 See?
Cool. As usual, it's mostly kind of well. I guess not. It's just mostly what there's news about on the internet. That's easy. Sometimes usually. So Marvel's still in search for their director for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So they haven't given up on it. They'll try to do it, even though they told everybody to go home for the jobs. But rumor is they're looking for a lady.
Oh, really?
I think you should just look for the best director for the job. But
Right.
yeah, whatever. But this is according to Super Bro Movies.
Okay.
Yeah, fucking know what that is. But the short list includes, and this is, they want to say, we want to stress it's a rumor, but we heard this from our inside source at Marvel. Whatever. So the short list is Dee Reese. Apparently directed something called Mudbound. I don't know if that
Support.
Michelle McLaren. She's directed some Game of Thrones episodes, and then S.J. Clarkson, who apparently is going to be directing Star Trek 4.
Well,
If that ever happens. What do you guys think? Do you think it should be a lady director? Do you care?
I mean, it'd be cool if it was a lady, but like you said earlier, I think it's just find the best person for the job. But
Right.
It doesn't matter what.
Exactly. That is kind of the one thing I think if you specifically search out one type of thing to do something like, yeah, we're really going to get a woman, or I have to be whatever, be a man, you're segregating them, half the population.
Yeah.
You could have maybe something to offer.
Exactly.
Get the best person for the job.
I think with that too, you're just being biased all around again. You're like, no, now you're reverse biased.
Exactly.
That's not cool. You can't do that.
Bias is bias, whichever way you want to swing it.
What they're trying to save face.
Right.
We Top Gun. How do we come back happily with people not pissing?
Yeah.
But you know how motherfuckers are out there on the internet with this outrage culture shit. There are going to be a lot of dudes out there like, we'll throw a fit because it's a woman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's possible.
Can't please everyone. Yeah.
So just give us a good movie.
You think that it's a diversion tactic? To be like, yeah, that's not him. And we have this new director because all that drama away bounce on her.
That's a good point. Diversion, maybe not so much as a manipulation, like you're saying. Because, like, yeah, we got Gun. Everybody loves Gun. But can you be really, truly mad if we put a woman in that
and
scene?
here, are you going to be
Are you
like,
like,
oh, Batista, you want to be known for freaking out on a lady now?
Yeah, so with it, yeah, I personally think it's more of a manipulation rather than diversion.
Yeah, that's pretty. I think you might be on something that day.
Which is like kind of a shady move, Marvel. Kind of a shady move.
It's all Disney.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
In all fairness.
I can't blame you. Yeah, sorry, Marvel. Dude,
But again, this is also all hearsay.
oh,
We
yeah.
don't know if this is true or not. But I guess that's okay.
We hear and we're saying,
We get it right.
Words have been said about it now.
Oh Lord. What's going next? Oh, we haven't. I don't think we have once on the podcast mentioned the Men in Black stuff.
Oh, we have it. You're
I
right,
don't
yeah.
think so. What we know about it is it's a spinoff, so not a reboot, sequel, remake, or whatever. Starring Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, and Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
It's in the UK. Did I
Mhm.
say that already?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. They still apparently the reason I bring this up as of today, this very day, Chris Hemsworth has wrapped his shooting on it. I don't know about the rest of the cast. They still don't have an actual title.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that's kind of nuts to me.
Yeah. I mean, clearly you can call it the Men in Black, but what is it a sub-name category? I guess?
Exactly. That's like, and I've been thinking about this off and on since I read it, and I'm like, what should it be? Obviously, that's literally all we know about the movie. They say plot-wise and story, it's still they've kept it pretty tight.
Interesting.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to call it MIB or MIB1B.
MIB, Back in Black.
Back in Black
Yeah.
with a white
What do I get?
What dudes?
guy.
That kind of scares me.
Or should it be another
There
like
isn't a title.
Men in Black interracial partners?
Yeah.
Justice.
Like something on the phone.
Maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, that makes me super nervous too. I mean, obviously, title doesn't necessarily, a title of the movie is never going to affect the quality of the movie. It's just
Mhm.
But Thanos like was a lot. To me, it's
yeah,
Mhm.
we do.
especially if they're being so tight-lipped about plot and story and what's happening. Shit.
Yeah, like they'll have to find like the title through like creative editing. Like that's when they'll find the story that they're looking for. Like after everything's shot, which I was like, probably should have had a plan about that beforehand.
Boring. So just jumping on this sequel, reboot, spin-off train.
Right. That's weird.
Very weird. Speaking of weird movie things, you guys hear Venom is on track to beat Justice League
I did not.
at the box office and also Logan? Although I'm instantly going to retract Logan because Logan's rated R.
Yes.
And no, I'm not, yeah, I know it's rated R. So that I don't think that's a fair comparison. You can't compare a PG-13 comic book movie to an R-rated comic book movie. It's never
No, yeah, you don't really know people.
going to. Exactly. But yeah, I've read that. And I mean, it's not a bad movie, but it's not a good movie. I know you guys haven't seen it, so I'm not going to do anything spoilery. But it's closer to a bad movie than good.
Venom?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yikes.
So how it's grossing so much, it's kind of interesting. Like the same way Suicide Squad. I know a lot of people love Venom. He's one of the coolest cult comic book characters out there, right? But still, after watching the movie, I just
Yeah, man. So I just pulled up some numbers here. Box Office Mojo has is at $171 million domestic and $290 million foreign. So it's killing it.
worldwide almost $500 million.
Yeah,
That's
it's
nuts.
killing it overseas. That's pretty intense, man.
Well, it's yes, Venom was very popular, and Tom Hardy, everybody loves that.
Well, and that is the one thing with it is the best thing about the movie was Tom Hardy as Venom. He was a great Eddie Brock, him and Venom's relationship together. That's when it really got good. And he's the one thing that we know is going to be the constant in the franchise, hopefully. So the rest of the fuckery kind of didn't matter. So that one I will say he as Venom.
Okay.
I think as an origin movie it was okay. I've actually
You have seen it? Okay.
okay.
I wasn't sure. Yeah,
Almost like the message.
yeah, I kind of just like browse.
He just skims it. He sees the and he's like, I'm good. I know what you're saying.
Uh,
It was alright.
yeah.
It was alright. As an origin movie, I think it's fine. I wasn't too into how Venom and Riot already had their personalities already set.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't know the backstory behind that. Obviously, we don't know how they gained their how they became who they are.
Right.
But I was just like, man, this is really just throwing the shit out of this right now.
It was, and yeah, they like. Why I'm not gonna get. That's what we won't get into that. This isn't a Venom podcast. But otherwise, that is surprising to me. Wise at the box office. Right. Moving on. Moving on. Okay, here's what I have. Bryan Cranston's all up on the internets lately. He does that sometimes. But lately, what he's saying is he really wants to play Mr. Sinister.
Really pushing for it, huh?
Really pushing for Mr. Sinister. If you guys don't know who Mr. Sinister is, when you guys want to explain it,
They don't have a great response. So.
okay, he's been in that in the Marvel universe quite a bit, but one of the big baddies in like the X-Men universe. Definitely a massive manipulator and doctor. He was the one that gave Gambit a lobotomy to reduce his powers. The School of Essex is Essex Corp in all of Marvel. It's something you see a lot pop up in X-Men movies, comics, the Deadpool and Deadpool 2, the School of Essex. It's all supposed to be something that Mr. Sinister is the kingpin of at the tour. So he's like just an old badass dude. I guess a lot. I mean, it's definitely an underclassification of his powers, but I'm tired. It's been a long time. But of course, if you get an old baddie that's kind of a badass, very charismatic, very business savvy, like Bryan Cranston,
think so. Bryan Cranston's a hell of an actor too, so I think he'll probably do a great job at it.
I think so, and I would really like to see if he pops up anywhere at first, especially after everything gets been through, if they still do it. I think the Gambit movie would be is good.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best.
Really bring some levity to it. If after all of this, they're like, "Oh, surprise, Bryan Cranston's in it," that's definitely going to drive some.
Yeah, I think so. Plus, people have been wanting to see Mr. Sinister since he was teased in. What was the end of it? Like, was it? I think so.
Apocalypse. I know it wasn't a. Yeah, I think it was Apocalypse. But he's been name dropped or not name dropped, but Easter egg all over. Pretty much since days before that.
Yeah. Just trying to get him going.
Right. As well, he should.
Cool.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
Cool.
Oh, when you're ever editing the podcast afterwards, Victor, you just like, yep, cutting that out. I know you do sometimes.
Sometimes.
Because I'll go back and be like, hey, that part of the conversation was gone. Probably for the best.
You're like, yeah, it drags on a little bit sometimes. I'm just gonna speak from
That's not necessary. It's going to be half this podcast.
Yeah, we're so welcome today.
Right. Shit. You guys are here. Want to get home?
That's it. Are you in place of that?
Cool. We keep sitting on that. Let's do. Did you guys ever watch A Quiet Place?
I did.
You did? I did. Did you watch it, Paul? Ah, man, you should. So I'm not going to get into any spoilers or anything like that, but especially since you haven't seen it. I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was. I mean, it's actually some we give horror movie shout outs. That's one that I would definitely give a shout out to. So I'll just cross that off the list now. But John Krasinski started writing the sequel.
Hell
Yeah, so they are going to do a sequel, or it's going to expand a lot more into the origin of the monsters, the continuation of what else is kind of, I think, outside of the original family that we met and stuff. So, from the little bit I was reading, it sounds like it's almost going to clue in some of the gaps the first movie had. So, I think some of those, not spoiler, but that he did was intentional now to kind of try and set up a sequel. So, I don't know.
I'm very excited. I thought that was a really well done movie. Just the way that they did the thrilling horror aspect to
Right.
it.
And it's one of those ones where it took a long time to show the monsters, and sometimes when they finally do with that much buildup, it's really disappointing. Like bad makeup, a CGI clusterfuck. These guys look really cool.
They did.
And I also just thought today that John Krasinski was like the mocap for who did a lot of this.
No
on top of
way.
it. And he didn't tell that till he did like announce he was doing the second. And they're like, he's like, oh, also guess what? Guess I did the movie as well.
That's rad. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I definitely recommend.
Yeah, it's a good one. Just for storytelling and the way that it was perceived. I actually watched it too. I watched it without subtitles. The way that I watched it, which I think is interesting because it left a different depth of a dynamic to it. Because like if you watch it in the theaters, there's the subtitles that tell you what they're saying, sign language and nonverbal communication. But I watched this movie in complete nonverbal communication. There was literally like 5-6 lines in the movie. And just it made me watch it really very closely. And I almost recommend watching the movie because you can just gather so much information just from a human perspective on all the nonverbal communication that's happening. You're like, oh shit. And it's really more, it's not words per se, but it's more of a feeling that you're gathering from the situation that is very much increased when you don't have the words. So just, I don't know. I say watch it without the subtitles personally, but
Was that your first watch or a rewatch?
first watch.
First watch. Amazing. Dang, I kind of wish I would have done that, but I did. I saw this. But it's kind of amazing. This is one you see this in the trailer. The family has an advantage because they know sign language. You know, the daughter's deaf, oldest daughter's deaf, but she's deaf in real life too.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that was pretty amazing on there.
Too.
What a great cast! Like I always thought, we're having 4 cuts because I fucking just assumed Will's gonna be in. It's been a while since it's been just us on the
Yeah,
podcast.
man, it has been a minute.
Shit, no, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, Emily Blunt. I always thought she was a pretty decent actress. After watching her in this movie, I'm just like, God damn. This woman. Like it took my respect for her up to a whole other.
Yeah, they're young too. I haven't seen him in a lot of other stuff. Mostly he's
Definitely very right. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's Jim from The Office."
Yeah.
And I have the advantage of not liking The Office, so I'm not tainted by that. I've seen enough of it to see why people get that, but that's not the impression. But yeah, I will certainly watch this one in theater.
Yeah, I will actually watch it in theaters.
Right. That's all I got because I can't really say anything else without spoiling the movie. So I'm gonna have to shut up. So we are now going to be drinking controversial brewery beer. Founders Brewing. Why are they controversial? Go back and listen to our 2 podcasts ago. 38. We talked about the lawsuit against these guys.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
A few episodes back. I can't remember.
But we'll see. Hopefully this beer's still good. Also haven't checked up to see how that's going. This is the Founder's Breakfast Stout picked up by Polycon right here. Double chocolate coffee oatmeal stout. Oh, I got hiccups on it. 8.3%, 60 IBUs. Nice and dork. On the bottle it says the coffee lovers consummate beer, brewed with an abundance of flake oats, bitter, and imported chocolates, and 2 types of coffee. This stout has an intense, fresh, roasted Java nose topped with a frothy cinnamon-colored head that goes forever. It does have a cinnamon-colored head. I wonder if that's an apt description for the way it looks. Label looks like a 7-year-old little white boy eating oatmeal. That bowl. That's what sells. That's what sells. Your white boys eating breakfast on your bottle. That's a weird choice. I'm not sure. Well, it says the beer's good. Tell me about the Untapped if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. So we have this at 8.3 alcohol by volume. It's rated a 4.16 average by Untapped. It's sitting at 60 reviews. Very popular. This is sitting at 652,000 total check-ins, 313,000 unique check-ins. And it's had 4,046 check-ins this month, which is probably because it was added on August 21st, 2010, about 8 years ago. So yeah,
This beer is definitely one we've seen. It's actually one I don't think I've ever had. Maybe we have. Been checked in on our Untapped.
But that's me then.
Oh, that's true. But our Untapped is, for the most part, flawless Untapped. I don't know if it says what you rated it before, but 4.16, man, that's up
it is very high rating, and I can sort of see that like cinnamon quality to the top of the nose with that coffee body in the middle of it.
there. Like the
Yeah, I just want to. I get like a Scentsy. I don't really like Scentsy's, but I would get a Scentsy.
this is a false Scentsy for sure. Oh, that's
It's not coffee bitter. It's a kind of bitter. Yeah, you have if you had a cup of coffee, which I don't hate.
or the dark cacao. Chips.
Um,
I don't hate it. I don't love it.
it's definitely overwhelming my sense of smell and hitting all my taste buds, savory taste buds.
I really like the smell. I'm not so sure. To me, it tastes like day old coffee.
That's a good description.
That's what it tastes like.
Yeah,
And like, but it was really good coffee.
Yeah.
But it's still a day old.
like you had a quality cup from a very good
Bistro.
bistro. Yeah, you're like, you know what? I'll see if I can repeat that. You repeated it. Yeah, still not now.
No,
Not.
no, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it's a good description.
Tell us what's going on. The rate.
Ugh. Yeah, as you know, I'm not a big stout
or coffee.
or coffee guy, but I do love the stone.
Like sociopaths.
No, that's true. actually.
Yeah, it would make
I
no
actually
sense
read
to
that on
me.
Wikipedia.
So you know.
Um, I love the aromas, but yes, I agree with JB about tasting it. I was hoping for something a bit sweeter. With the oatmeal stout,
Mhm.
breakfast oatmeal stout.
It is not very sweet, that's for sure. When it comes to coffee beer for me, I like it to be like I go back to when we had the Mocha Irish Death from Iron Horse, a very subtle coffee flavor that kind of hits you just right. Coffee and beer, and I'm a huge coffee fan. It can be overpowering and a hard balance to pull.
Agreed. Yeah,
I do not agree with the 4.16
I agree with your disagreement.
disagreement. Paul, you rate it
3.25.
3.25. I'm gonna give it a 2.75.
Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh.
I don't hate it. May I ask what we think of
It
this?
was like $2.
Really? I'm gonna go 3.5.
3.25.
Yeah.
Keep you warm.
Yeah.
It was. It's a multiple choice.
Yeah. Much rather prefer the Mocha Irish. Yeah.
If I want beer with some coffee.
Yeah.
But it does smell fucking fantastic. I can't like that's partly what makes me not give it like a 2.5 or lower is mostly because it smells quite.
Yeah. The bouquet on it is quite lovely.
Oh man, it just hits you so hard in the back end too. Bitter. It is definitely bitter, dark chocolate. Yeah. Okay. You know, speaking of not a fan, moving on in the news here, John Carpenter seems to not be a fan of them doing a sequel to Big Trouble in China. I read an interview with him where he said everybody thought it was a shit movie. Nobody liked it then. Nobody likes it now. They just want to remake my work, or they don't care about my work. They just want to or rip off nostalgia to give Dwayne Johnson more money or something to that effect.
Oh yeah.
But it was kind of I thought maybe a tad unnecessary. Seemed a bit. I don't know if he was mad that he wasn't invited to direct the second one or something because he doesn't have any rights to. You know, a lot of directors don't. They don't have any say so on if the movie gets remade, sequelized, things like that. I don't like that because that is a goddamn cult classic. Like he was talking about it, like people still. It may have flopped initially, but that movie has become a dope over time.
Yeah. It was a slow rise. Cult
Yeah.
classic.
I don't even know if it was that slow. I loved it. I loved it from the initial point, but I mean that movie came out, I was probably just born or what it did, or when it, so I didn't see it until. But I mean, I remember watching that movie the first time like 5, 6 years old. I've watched it like once a year since. So
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I mean, I love John Carpenter. He makes a lot of my favorite movies, especially the old school movies, This and They Live. What more do you need? The Thing. But just calm your shit. Come on. People enjoyed it even if it didn't make money.
I agree with Mr. Carpenter. I think the way the movie is, I mean, they can redo the movie, you know, make it or whatever else, still a little zany, but you can't keep that original charm because it was so fucking cartoony.
That I definitely agree
You
with.
know, and if they make something like that, people are just gonna shit on
It won't hold up. Yeah. It won't hold up. And as good as The Rock is, he ain't no Jack Burton.
No.
Or Kurt Russell.
No.
But also, with the exception of Luke, God damn it, what's the main bad guy's name? Luke Fowl? Whatever. Like there were no actors worth a note in that. So at least if you read it today, maybe if done right, you could probably get a pretty stellar cast. That if you needed to camp it up, you could. Because we've seen that The Rock can do campy, but I just don't know if like a lot of the stuff in that movie with like there's so much subtle and not so subtle racism in there
No,
towards
gosh.
Asian culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's it. I am quite curious to see how that. I'm still gonna watch it,
Right.
but I don't think it deserved the anger he was given it. Like, and I do think he has some points. Like probably people really are more intrigued, and by people I mean studios, to get Dwayne Johnson in a movie because they know he sells tickets than they are to make a quality Big Trouble Little China sequel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm. Well, especially too, like especially with that racism piece, like because The Rock is so charming and
And he's mixed ethnicity too,
Yeah,
so that helps.
he's allowable to say some things that might not
That
be
other,
received
yeah,
super
that Kurt
well.
Russell could not say.
Today.
Although Kurt Russell wasn't, but that's not fair because that implies Kurt Russell was racist in the movie. He in no way was.
Agreed.
Just a lot of the tones and the way they
Yeah.
portrayed characters were very stereotypical,
Yeah.
and you could say racist. Not Kurt Russell.
Not
I
Kurt
would
Russell.
never say that. I love Kurt Russell. Like, God, the greatest mustache grower.
It is pretty beautiful.
Yeah, like,
Hell of a
hell of a mustache.
yeah. So yeah.
And really, I think the last bit before the main bit of news I want to talk about is Flash movie delayed again.
Oh, weird. This is like the slowest movie about a fast person.
Isn't that the extreme irony? It's also funny because Flash, especially Barry Allen, is habitually late to everything. Just so people don't think he is.
Yeah.
But he's not 3 years delayed late. This movie
Yeah.
is officially 3 years behind schedule.
That's absurd.
Isn't like I think maybe Gambit's the only comic book movie that's been on the block because I think that's 4 years.
Yeah.
So they don't have a director again. They dropped the Flashpoint script, so they're pretty much saying they're rewriting the whole movie because they don't like the script. So at this point, they, from what I was reading, said at the soonest they think they may be able to start production in the
And next year.
start production.
Jesus. You know, it just sounds like it's not a priority for DC right now.
But I think it's because Ezra Miller doesn't really have the star power.
Yeah.
I think if you had a little bit bigger star behind the Flash, and even though he was very good as the Flash, thanks. He brought good humor to it and stuff, but it wasn't like ground.
Yeah.
So it's not anything that are going to push people to see it flat.
Mm-hmm.
But it is. Isn't it ironic how slow is the world's fastest?
Yeah, that is intense, man. I'm like, I wonder when we're gonna get the Cyborg movie. Like, I haven't heard anything special about that one, but I know it's supposed to come out after the Flash. based on
Ooh,
the
I did hear something special, and I think Antoine Fuqua, I think, is going to direct it.
No
I
shit.
may be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I saw that, and I was gonna
Incredibly
send you the link, but it was on Facebook, and I know you're not on Facebook, so then that was the only way I could find it. So I might be right on that, but I
yeah,
might be wrong on it. I can give it a Google.
I'm gonna give it a Google
Cyborg.
fast.
Let's give it a check.
yeah, because that would be amazing. Anton Fuqua, man,
Let's say I know you're a fan.
fantastic, fantastic. Because he did a lot of great. He did Shooter. He did Four Brothers, I think. Yeah, we don't have anybody. Writer is George Perez.
And Mark Wolfman, but Mark Wolfman's the dude that created him. I know he's a fairly famous comic book author.
Yeah, I don't have any directors tied to it as far as the internet movie database. So,
I'll have to keep an eye on it.
yeah,
See if I see that, I'll make sure to bring it up on the next cast of fun.
God, I really hope that's true. That'd be great. Yeah, that is set for release for April of 2020. So,
Suck at this one will be a sideboard.
Yeah.
Get Flash.
well, yeah, that's how it's gonna work. There are no delays.
No delays. Do you guys have anybody in mind? And I just thought of this before we move on from Flash, who you would like to direct it?
I would like Robert Zemeckis. I mean, I think he's a master class in storytelling. So I know from a story standpoint, Robert Zemeckis would be probably one of mine. I know he's tied to it initially, like.
Was he really?
Mhm.
Oh, I was gonna say, what is his feels on the comic book?
I don't know. I don't think he's ever done.
I was gonna say, I do not think he has to the best of my knowledge. I think if you do, I'm gonna say Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. That's a nice one.
He's directed a few episodes of the show The Flash, and they're some of the best ones. He's a great comic book writer. Genuinely passionate about shit like this. So, like I said,
Dude,
Kevin
Kevin
Smith.
Smith, I think I could pick up, man.
Yeah.
It's good, yeah.
good okay, yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad that guy did. He looks great. Also,
He's done. Did you see his show on? It was on YouTube. It's really
the
good.
one that he had the heart attack during.
Hollyweed, I
Oh,
believe
yeah.
is the name of it. It's on a website that you have to like pay per episode for. Actually, you choose to pay how much. you
Oh,
want
that's
to.
right. We were talking about that. No, I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, the first episode is free on YouTube. I really suggest people check it out. Hollyweed is the name of it. Yeah, check it out. Good job.
Interesting. All right. So our next beer is our I Tap That segment, going back to our Idaho beer. Sometimes we've had them, sometimes we haven't. This one we have had. This is from Payette. It is their North Fork Lager. I got this one mostly. Payette recently changed distribution. They expanded a little bit, but they have some new cans. I was at the local corner store here by our casa, and they have a new, was this a 16-ounce can? No, a full pint, or even more than a pint, 19.2 fluid ounce can. House Kitty can. So yeah, it's the North Fork Lager is meant to be a light summer drinking low alcohol beer. So you can do shit. It is on the key. It says Class 5 taste, big can for big rabbits. Since it's a low boy, it's only 4.4% and 19 IBU. So a little lower in alcohol than we like, but for its that is, I mean, the purpose it's made for.
Yeah, it's meant for rafting on a river, so you got to keep your wits about you while you're on the white waters of the
What's the Untapped description?
Untapped has this at a 3.33 average rating. It is 4.4%, as we mentioned. It's got 19 IBUs. It's sitting at 55,166 total check-ins, 4,086 unique check-ins, and 24 this month. It says this American lager has a laid-back personality and pairs easily with just about all edibles without clashing. The hops bring with it a max of woody, green, floral, and fruit notes with herb and spice character subtleties. The lower alcohol content makes it a very sensible beer that runs quick and smooth, so packed with Coast River run refreshment. Interesting.
I like to pick with just about all edibles. Assume they mean marijuana.
That would be my assumption.
They probably don't. Or do they? That's probably. Don't drink fucking Bud Light or Coors Light. Drink North Fork Lager. This is so much better of a light beer. So much better. It's like it actually tastes clean. It tastes fresh. It doesn't taste factory. It's no factory lager. That's for sure. Industrial lager, whatever you call them. This is a true, yummy, light American lager. This is the kind like, like 20 years ago, people would make fun of American beer. Europeans would make fun of American beer because it was nothing but, Budweiser and Coors and Miller and shit of that variety.
Mhm.
If it would have tasted like this, they'd have respected. Because they have, Europeans have plenty of light beer just like we do. They're the ones that invented the fucking pills.
Yeah.
But we didn't have anything like this. Okay.
No way.
So much better.
No, I think you're absolutely right. This is a fantastically crafted light lager, man. I think you should always drink this, or any independent craft brew, or
Right.
a macro brew like Budweiser, Bud Light, but yeah.
People
Wait,
are drinking this because it's like 24
Dude. Did you hear fucking
Yeah.
Keystone Lights is making a 77 pack of beer?
Oh,
And I can't remember if it's their 77-year anniversary or if they started in 77. Who fucking cares? But they're legit making a 77 pack.
How do you even lift that? And I mean, at that point, like,
Right.
once they surpass like 24 cans, like, I noticed that, you notice the terminology changes? People call it a rack of beer.
A rack of beer.
It's like, I'm gonna grab a
rack of beer. Give me a 30 rack.
Yeah, I need a 60 rack of beer. Dude, just, okay, what happened to a sixer, man? Like, calm your shit.
get a 70 rack of Keystone and go to Posh Burger and fucking
A 77.
7 rack.
I would give this a 3.25, and I would tap it all day.
I would give this a 3.5 and I'd tap it all day long.
I would give this a 3.5. I let this happen.
Oh, I was getting tapped on this segment.
Oh.
Oh!
Rock
It's like, I ate your comment. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I ate your chocolate squirrel.
Yeah.
Chocolate squirrel. Oh, man. When
Uh,
did Airheads we use condoms as bubble gum?
yeah.
Not
No,
Airheads, Coneheads.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Coneheads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Two very different
Very
movies.
different.
Very different
Very
movies.
strange heist movie. though.
It's a good one, though. I liked it.
Yeah.
All right, last bit of news, because this is kind of the big one. This is our rumor news. See what we're going to speculate on this one. Last week, Iron Fist was canceled. And this week, Luke Cage is canceled. Like, both after two very well received seasons,
Yeah.
get canned. There are a whole bunch of theories floating around on the interweb about this.
I did not know Luke Cage was canceled. I
Seriously?
can understand. Yeah. I will.
Oh, it came out yesterday. I
Oh,
think.
okay.
So, I guess you're not on the internet. So,
No. But I can see why Iron Fist was canceled, even though the last season was much more well received than the first season. I don't get Luke Cage. That was both seasons have been well received so far. So that's kind of
oh, there's already huge petitions for bringing Luke Cage back. So I really think it's one of three reasons why the show were canceled.
Okay.
One, I think the least likely one is that they didn't think the shows were well received and didn't want it to continue. I've heard a lot of theories out there saying Disney's shutting it down. In Disney's contract over Marvel with their streaming rights, they have nothing to do with this. This is 100% Marvel and Netflix. Disney is actually out of this. They have no say. That's why with the last few seasons, especially, you haven't seen any tie-ins anywhere with Disney. So I don't think that's going to happen. But maybe. But if that were the case, it would cancel fucking Jessica Jones too. That second season sucked.
or Daredevil.
Well, the second season, Daredevil, I thought was good. It wasn't as good as the first, but it was still pretty good. So far, the third season is kicking ass.
I'm really doing
And like the thing we talked about a few podcasts ago, they have plans up to 6 seasons for Daredevil. So clearly, it's not anything to do with Disney wanting to shut this down and put it on streaming service. Get our facts straight. Sure. I think it's what we've actually talked about on the podcast before. This is my most likely thought, is that instead of doing several series with these ones, especially since there was a lot of open time, maybe episodes that were fluff episodes. Sorry, I think they're going to do Heroes for Hire.
God, I hope so. If that's the
That's
case,
my number one theory.
then I will happily allow them to cancel both because I think together they are way fun to watch. Would be super cool. So that's a great one. I have like an alternate theory that Netflix is running low on funds because they've expanded so quickly, and they're actually somewhat they're in danger of losing money right
What they need to do, and I can't believe they haven't done this, is limit the amount of signups.
now. Oh yeah,
Shouldn't be unlimited.
it shouldn't be.
Like 10. These motherfuckers can pay for it. subscription.
Yeah.
at this point.
Agreed.
I guess they kind of tried to do that with their 2 and 4 screen limitations,
Mhm.
but I think for the most part that just doesn't do it enough. So I'm kind of surprised Netflix has never really complained about it,
Mhm.
especially since we saw how MoviePass did. But
Well, I mean, if we look at their economics, I've seen some stuff about it. I can't really call it
But,
right now, it's taking a while, but they're not doing well.
really
Yeah.
interesting. But I know like a lot of their originals, like they don't necessarily. They're a handful, actually large amount of originals that all they do is put their tag on it, put it on the service.
Mhm.
Like it's like they don't put any money into production. Really, they'll just have kind of some deals where you'll get a percentage based off the watches and stuff. Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're not handing out money to people to make movies. It's just like, oh, you got an idea, all right, cool, I can get it funded, and we'll put it on here.
And that's the one thing, like Netflix has spent billions, I mean, it has to be with a billions of dollars funding new and original content. So they just
They still do a lot of that too, but I was also kind of surprised to find out how many they don't.
well, just acquiring new content is what you were talking about too. Oh, this is it. We'll slap our label on it.
You also still have to pay people to make those negotiations. They don't cheap either.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
at this point, they're paying probably a lot of people to do that.
Mhm. Takes a lot to broker those deals for sure. And they only have them for limited amounts of time. It's crazy.
Exactly. So that's interesting. I wonder how it would go if they started maybe putting less original content on, because I think they started to shoehorn too hard into that.
Oh yeah.
And maybe go back to like, we should maybe put some good classic shows,
Yeah.
movies back on
We
too.
need stuff that we know is gonna sell.
Right. People actually watch to put like, Family Guy and Simpsons and shit back on.
Mhm.
What?
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting. I didn't realize they were financially not. Although it does make sense.
Yeah. Especially with the sign-on deal, billions of dollars. Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
Third theory,
Sure.
Disney does have something to do with it. It is going to be a fight for the snap. And they
Oh, okay. Because if Jessica Johnson Daredevil is gonna desire that is 50% of that show. Wow.
So that's one going around too, that they are going to end up tying it in. Again, I think that's the least likely. Second least likely option. Really fucking for high. But that's a lot of. I saw some things, read some articles that was trying to say that, because there's another thought too that the snap. And I think Vicky and I watched this video last night. It was pretty intriguing. Thanos created a time loop to where, and no matter really kind of which timeline you're in, it's always the snaps always happen in one aspect or another. Sometimes it happens sooner, sometimes it happens a little bit late. And they try to tie it in with, Ant-Man at the ending of the Avengers 4 and a few other things, and now saying that it's going to actually get tied into.
Could be. But you think that, because if that were true, because I feel like with the snap, Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to undo the snap in some way, because it will get undone in some way. You think Netflix is just saying that for the time being until the snap gets undone? Or-
Maybe.
I wonder,
Maybe.
it should be an incredible marketing ploy on their part.
Dude,
Wouldn't that
talk
be
about
amazing?
generating bucks.
Wow.
Talk about generating bucks.
Yeah.
And that was kind of something that I thought it would absolutely have to do with it. So I like that you brought that up. And maybe they would do that, who knows, and bring it back and still have it for high. Not even renew the 2 ships.
So either way it works for them.
Exactly.
Wow, I got chills, man. That's
Right.
amazing.
It's kind of nuts.
All right.
What do you think, Mark? Cool. So the next beer that we're going to be drinking, well, I guess actually before we get into it, do you guys, anybody got a potty or anything?
I do.
You do?
I'm just gonna walk out. So.
No, okay. So
Yeah.
we can take a quick pause. That's all right. Take a pause for the cause. Take the tea. And then we're going to get back and drink a quite delicious beer.
All right. Okay. My dear, it didn't do that. I don't know what happened.
I think it's the season change. Did all this fucking dead foliage shit.